In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear wheel bearing on your Nissan Armada. Located behind the rear wheels, let's get started. Using a 21mm socket, go ahead and remove the lug nuts. If you have issues removing the tire, what you can do is just put one lug nut back in, no matter which one you put in. Don't put it all the way, of course. And I'm gonna be using a mallet, and I'm gonna be hitting the tire from the inside. Remove the lug nut that we previously installed. And now we can go ahead and remove the tire. Now we can go ahead and remove the caliper with the bracket. Using a 19mm socket, we're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt. Go ahead and take it out. And now we're gonna remove this other 19mm bolt right over here. Go ahead and get it loose. And now take it out. Now we can grab the whole bracket, slide it out, and just put it on top of the control arm. Away from the rotor. Next up, we're gonna be removing the axle cotter pin. I'm gonna go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna bend back the leg that locks it in. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use some needle nose pliers to help me straighten it. And now we can go ahead and remove it. Now we can go ahead and slide the cap off. And now we get to the axle nut. Using a 36mm socket, go ahead and remove the nut. The next thing we need to do before we move to the back of the axle, we need to make sure that the axle moves freely from the hub. I'm using a mallet. I'm gonna go ahead and tap it. As you can see, it moves inwards, so we're good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rotor and then move to the back. To remove the rotor, simply grab onto it and slide it out. Just like that. Moving to the back of the knuckle, there's gonna be 4 bolts that we need to remove. Using a 19mm socket, go ahead and remove this bolt. Here's one. Now we can go ahead and remove this one. Remove the bolt. And now we can go ahead and remove this one. Remove the bolt. And now we have one more that we need to remove. Next up, we're gonna disconnect the ABS sensor, which in this case is part of the hub. We're gonna follow the line, and it goes right over here. The next thing we need to do is disconnect it. So go ahead and put some pressure on the connector and slide it off. Now go ahead and disconnect it and move the connector away. Next up, I'm gonna use a pry bar. I'm gonna go ahead and put some pressure on the plastic piece that connects to the subframe and just pop it off. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and slide it off the grommet. We're gonna be doing the same thing on all three of them. So go ahead and slide it off. Follow the line. For this one, we're gonna need a pry tool. Go ahead and pry on it and take it off. Go ahead and slide it off the grommet. And lastly, we have this one. Go ahead and do the same. Go ahead and let it hang, and now we can go ahead and remove the whole assembly. Now we can go ahead and remove the parking shoes. Using needle nose pliers, go ahead and take the spring off. You want to go ahead and grab onto it and slide it out. Slide the spring out. Put it to the side. I recommend taking a picture of this before you remove anything, so that way you know how it goes back together. Remove the adjuster. Simply grab onto it and slide it out. We're gonna have another spring on the top. We're gonna be using the same needle nose pliers and do the same we did on the bottom. And take it out. Now we can go ahead and remove the spring and put it to the side. Now we can fully remove the parking shoes. Using a flathead screwdriver, you're gonna go ahead and rotate this to unlock them. You wanna make sure you're putting pressure on it, twist it, and slide them out. We're gonna be doing the same on this one. Now we can move to the back of the knuckle, and there's gonna be these two 17mm nuts that we need to remove. Using a 17mm socket, go ahead and take them out. Remove the nut, and now we're gonna be doing the other one. Next up, using a 16mm socket, go ahead and remove this bolt. Next up, we're gonna be removing this bracket. Simply slide it forward, and that's gonna unlock the pin. Go ahead and move it to the side. Slide the pin out, and slide this piece off. Now grab onto the parking brake cable and slide it out. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and remove this bracket. Using a rubber mallet, you wanna go ahead and tap it. Once you get it loose, go ahead and slide it off. Now we're gonna go ahead and use a slide hammer. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in. I'm gonna be using 2 of the lug nuts to hold the piece in place. Now we can install the slide hammer. And now we can slide it off. Go ahead and remove the tool. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use a rubber mallet to help me slide the whole assembly out. Grab onto the bottom and hit it right in the center. And now slide it off. Moving over to a bench, we're now gonna put the hub facing downwards so we can slide the backing plate off. When you do this, you wanna keep in mind you feed the harness with the plate, so go ahead and do that. Slide it up and take the harness off. We're gonna be transferring this whole plate onto the new assembly. And here we have the new hub assembly. We're gonna be feeding the harness the same way we removed it. So grab onto the backing plate, grab onto the harness, feed it through the center. And keep in mind this groove goes right on the sensor itself. So go ahead and slide that in. Make sure it lines up with the holes. And now we're ready to take the whole assembly back to the vehicle. Before we go ahead and install the hub, we want to make sure that we clean this whole area so it's free of debris. I'm going to go ahead and use a wire brush. I'm going to go ahead and clean around here and then move the axle so I can get to the bottom. Another thing you want to clean is the splines. Using the same wire brush, go ahead and do that. Make sure that it's nice and free of debris. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner. Spray the area. Wipe everything off. Make sure that it's free of debris. Now we can go ahead and use some never cease on the spline and on this surface. Now we can go ahead and install the hub. We're gonna go ahead and slide the splines first. Line it up and slide it in. Make sure you lined up the holes, and now we can go from the back and install the bolts. Now we can install the 4 bolts that holds the hub. Go ahead and start it by hand, making sure that you lined it up. Go ahead and install the bolts. Go ahead and install the 2 on the bottom. And now we can go ahead and start getting them snug. You want to make sure you go around all of them and you bottom them out. Now we can go ahead and get them torqued. Now we can go ahead and torque it to 65 foot-pounds. When you do this, you want to make sure you go in a star pattern. Now we can go ahead and install this piece. Line it up with the holes. Push it in all the way. And now install the nuts in the back. Go ahead and install the 2 nuts that go in the back. Start them by hand. Now we can go ahead and get it snug. Make sure you get them both snug. Now we can go ahead and feed the parking brake line through the hole. Lined up the mounting point and install the bolt. Go ahead and snug it up. Now we can go ahead and install this piece. The first thing we need to do is open it. You're gonna go ahead and grab the pin, line up the holes, push this bracket in, lock it in place, and now go ahead and close it. It should look something like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the parking brake shoes. Before, we wanna make sure that the area is clean and free of debris. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner. Spray some in the back. Wipe off any excess. Now we're gonna be using some silicone and we're gonna be applying it on the areas that the parking brake shoe makes contact with the backing plate. We're just gonna put a little bit. Do not put that much. We don't want this getting on the rotor. Now we're ready to install the shoes. Now we're ready to install the parking brake shoe. Here we have the clip. Go ahead and slide it in. And now we're gonna be lining this up with the backing plate. Using a flathead screwdriver, go ahead and put it through. And using the flathead screwdriver, we're gonna go ahead and push that in to lock it in place. We're gonna be doing the same thing on the other shoe. Now you wanna go ahead and line up the top bracket with the parking shoes. It should look something like this. Now we can go ahead and install the upper spring. Line it up on one side. I'm gonna go ahead and use some locking pliers. And now I can go ahead and clip it on the other side. If you have issues with the spring going in place, go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver to push it in, just like that. Now we can get the adjuster in. Go ahead and spread the parking shoes. Line it up. And lock it in. Now we can install the bottom spring. We're gonna go ahead and clip it on one side. And on the other side, I'm gonna use the locking pliers to clip it in. It should look something like this. Now we can go ahead and spray some Never Seez on this surface before we install the rotor. That's gonna prevent rust buildup. Now we can go ahead and install the rotor. And now we can go ahead and install the rotor. Line up the studs and push it in. Next up, just to hold the rotor in place, I'm gonna go ahead and use a lug nut. Doesn't matter where you put it. This is just to hold the rotor in. Go ahead and tighten it by hand. Make sure that it's bottomed out and that the rotor is straight. Now we can go ahead and install the caliper. Now we can grab the caliper and bracket assembly. Slide it in on the rotor. And now install the 2 bolts that holds it in place. Start those by hand. Now we can go ahead and snug them up. Now we can torque him to 116 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead and connect our ABS sensor. Before we do so, we had to clip the wire in on these locations. So we go ahead and do that. Starting with this one, go ahead and follow the cable. Go ahead and route the cable up. Slide it on this. Next, do this one. Go ahead and clip on this plastic piece. Line it up with the hole and push it in. Install the grommet. Working our way up, we're gonna have another one right here. Go ahead and do that. And now we have the electrical connector. Go ahead and clip on the connector. Line up the holes and push it in. Now we can plug it in. Line it up and lock it in. Moving on to the front of the rotor, we're gonna go ahead and remove the lug nut that we previously installed to hold everything in place. Take that out. Now we can go ahead and install the axle nut. We can go ahead and get it snug. And now we can torque it. But before we do so, I'm gonna go ahead and use a small flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna wedge it between the rotor and the caliper bracket. That's just to hold it in place so we can get to torque it. We're gonna go ahead and torque it to 181 foot-pounds. Go ahead and remove the screwdriver that we previously installed. Simply slide it out. Now you can go ahead and reinstall the wheel, and that'll be job done. Install the tire. Now we can go ahead and install the lug nuts by hand. Snug everything up in a star pattern. With the vehicle on the ground, we're gonna go ahead and torque the lug nuts to 98 foot-pounds in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.